and they don't seem to care, let's say, for subjects because they think that they will never need them in real life. So this year I decided to pilot GMRT with my year 5 students. There are only 7 of them. Their English is quite poor, despite the level they're supposed to be. And I see them twice a week, on Monday and Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have only 45 minutes lesson, and we agreed that we are going to have a program with them. Our first rule, let's say, was that they should not speak to me any Greek, only English. So I presented with them the first script. It was about the changing of the seasons. And I explained to them that there were the characters there, color-coded, etc., and they should choose one character to go with. And at the beginning, they started reading, but their language was like that, like a robot's language. So these people, blah, blah, blah. And in the second time that we decided to read it, one of the girls changed her voice slightly in order to match what she wanted to say. This happened the first day. The next week, a boy at the end of the session said, "This is epic." And we sang all together a song that Tracy had put about the changing of the seasons in the end. And they could reply to my questions in English quite easily. On the third time we met, I had created a script about St. Patrick's Day, which was back in March. It's one of my favorite celebrations, but I didn't want them just, to draw something. I wanted them to learn something. So I presented the script in front of them and said, okay, let's do something about St. Patrick's Day. On the third session, they could raise their hand and say, "Miss, can I be Tracy?" For example, say they knew how they should ask to become a specific character from the story. We read the script twice, and then I started asking them questions. Why do Irish people wear green? And who was St. Patrick, etc. And they could look for information in the script, and they could easily answer to me. So every time it's Tuesday, they come to me and say, "Hey, Miss, are we going to have the program today?" And they are eager about it. Now I have started a script that has to do with coral reefs. And I showed to them that they can have the introduction at home. I will send them by email. And there was a YouTube video which showed them how they could create coral reefs on their own by drawing. And I told them, I'll send you this and you'll have it as homework. So in a way, I made them speak English, very, very little English, but it's still English. And they could understand something, learn something about St. Patrick, few things about coral reefs, and the story goes on. So there is a change there. Yeah. It's changed.
Oh, thank you, Georgia.
Oh, Tracy, they can't wait to meet you because I told them that we're working. When are we going to meet this lady? I don't know. It's a huge time difference. We'll talk about it, guys. So yeah.
Oh, good. Well, we're working. I've been up for 3:00 a.m. meetings.
We can manage. Yeah, I'm sure. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. So it took a while for Georgia to really try to do it because she hi Calliope,
hi everyone.
She really was unsure whether or not these kids had enough background or interest to want to do this. And I'm so glad that it's turning out well, that it's an excitement for them, and they're eager to be able to see what's going to be next or what you can do with it. And that's perfect. And those are the kinds of things that we want to document. Those are the stories that we're going to be gathering so that in the summertime we can develop a sort of a book of what's happening with GMRT and how it's affecting learning around the world in different countries. So Steriana, how about you and what it is that you've, now Steriana was very fascinating. And she's doing GMRT a little differently, and that's what's kind of cool. It's very flexible, and you can do it in different ways depending upon what is it that you really want the learners to gain. Steriana, you want to talk to them a bit about what you're doing and how has it been going?
Hi, everybody. From the very beginning, I realized that the GMRT, although Tracy presented it as a different way of improving the English skills, foreign language skills, I turned things a bit around because I work at the school with children with special needs. Some of them have severe special learning needs and some others not. So according to the curriculum of the state of Greece, children, these children are aged between and 18. It's gymnasium. I don't know which how you put this grade. And according to the Greek curriculum, we're obliged, we have to teach literature to these kids, whether Greek or foreign literature. So what I did was I took those texts from the books and I turned them into a GMRT scenario. Whether those texts had lots of pieces of dialogues, this text helped me where there was a dialogue. It helped me a lot, but where there wasn't any dialogue, I made a sort of narrator. Speaking, narrator 1, narrator 2, and things like that. So far, it's been going amazingly well because the children have gained lots of confidence of speaking and saying those lines according to the scenario. They to enjoy it, to understand it quite easy. They can't wait for their turn to speak when their color is coming. They respect other children, their mates when they're about to talk. They color the voice amazingly, and every day it's getting better and better. They smile at me more. They're looking forward for our classes. They're preparing their chairs and they're putting the children with the wheelchairs in front of them, and the rest of them prepare them by themselves. They offer themselves to turn the PC for me. They even asked me, those 3 texts that we have managed to do so far, they've asked me, where does this text come from? Meaning, from which book? Because we have selected only, not I, the book of the ministry has small bits of some texts. Some of them kind of promised me that during the Easter holidays are gonna read those books, and they argue with each other, not fight, they argue with each other, which one is gonna take the longest part, the longest color, the longest, so as to speak for longer. That's all I have to say. And I really believe that it helps them a lot in understanding. I mean, really understand the context, the text. And then it also, I made a short test at them in the classroom. and it worked really well. And then for the other text, I gave them a work paper for homework.
Yeah.
Yes, for homework, and they told me, and I believe them, that it was easier for them and quickest to do this paper at home because they weren't interrupted and from the other children speaking or it's not always quiet in the classroom. So anyway,
Should be always quiet. If learning is happening.
And they told me that what you gave us to us, Mrs., was easy busy lemon squeeze and things like that. So it's really working because more or less the exams that are gonna sit for now in end of May and in June, it's gonna be the exam. It's gonna be with questions like this. So I believe that we've gained a lot. And they're really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it as well.
That's what I like to hear, that everyone is enjoying. The teachers are having fun too, as well as the learners, and everybody's getting involved. I'll be interested to see if they do go back over the Easter break and read anything and try and develop a script from something that they're reading out of the book to see if they can make a script. A very simple kind of script, but if they're reading from the textbook that they want to go back and try to read, that maybe you can say, well, maybe you can try and put this into a script for us to read.
Say that again, please. Maybe I could try.
Well, you had said that during Easter break, that the learners had said they were going to go back to the book and look at some of these stories and stuff, right?
And read the whole book instead of the small text that it's in the book of the ministry.
Right. So what I'm saying is maybe one of the things that they read sparks them to try and make it into a script.
Yeah, now I understood. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and
more work, yay!
Yeah, because that's the final part. But when you've really got them engaged and excited about it, then when you say, well, we can develop script, so you can try to develop a script like this, and we can do it here, and then we'll translate it and give it to the GMRT library for other people around the world to be able to share and use. Okay.
They even argued with Rula. I've got a fellow colleague who is teaching informatics, and they have prepared the GMRT scenario, with the pictures that you've suggested,
yeah.
and you could hear them yelling to each other. Rula and the students, Mrs., this is horrible. Yeah, but it's more appropriate. What do you mean appropriate? And she told me, come along. And I said, no, you figure it out yourselves. I let them express themselves. You will let them. But Rula was a little bit embarrassed about the pictures on the sketches that the children just keep it simple, she said to them. We'll see about the introduction, the whole script.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Looking forward to it. Yeah,
that's great. That's great to hear. I'm so glad that that it's being successful in those of you that have piloted it. And so I'm going to just go, Calliope, I know you can't stay for very long, and you haven't really had the opportunity to begin the pilot yet. You sort of have to deal with being...
Unfortunately, the whole thing's running. Yeah, I apologize for that. And I'm not quite sure we're going to start it till the end of the term, actually, too. A lot of things to, like behind the scenes. but I'm enjoying everybody else's results. Anyhow, okay, let's just hope that maybe during summertime, some students may be willing to do some extra things and extra courses. Right now, I see them quite, because we have to do this like after school, and they're not really willing to participate in WebEx sessions like Zoom sessions.
You can't do within the school. You can't. You don't have.
The point is like not because like things are stressed out, but because they have like things that I have to teach them anyhow that are like beyond book reading and the sessions here. This is what made it a bit difficult. And another fact is that I don't have A classes here with whom we could actually do that a lot. So yeah, that's why I started like really hoping to do that, but it didn't work out. So let's just hope it like I get to do it eventually, like maybe once or twice, hopefully. I'm not quite sure though, unfortunately. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, keep plugging away and trying. Steriana, you have your hand up. You have to unmute, honey.
Yes. I have a question. Has anyone told you so far that the GMRT scenario isn't working? Because you seem so pleased and enthusiastic. And I wonder, has anyone told you, Tracy, it didn't work out. No, not a great difference happened to our students. I just wonder, because it's so simple and simple things really work. I hope I'm not being too much.
May I, Sariana? May I, Tracy?
Yes.
Yes.
We didn't actually get to do the program this year, but we did facilitate last year. And like the results were amazing because my students were quite good. Like cognitively, their level was okay, but they really enjoyed the process and they learned more things while doing it. So I don't like, from my experience, nobody complained. They enjoyed it. They were coming all the time. They were like really eager to meet other people. For like we met Tracy, for instance, and they really enjoyed it. So nobody said like that they didn't like it. Okay, they all enjoyed it so much. And this is why I was really hoping for sessions this year, but I never got to use the library. I never got to use the text. I never got to teach them through this, unfortunately. Yes.
Well, but you do have experience with it, and that experience, again, that's what I want to do is I want to gather these experiences, both from the facilitator's viewpoint and from some of the students' viewpoint. Those are the things we need to publish.
I could write about last year's experiences. I could also ask my students because I still have them, and they can give me feedback on that.
Yeah, right. I was wondering about the facilitators. Has anyone told you, Mrs. Hanson, it isn't working out?
Nobody has come to me and said it's not working. But when I asked to do the pilot, or when I set that up, it was because until we can prove the effectiveness of GMRT, not just for English skills, but for the other academic skills, and that it does get them more excited and more involved about learning other things, coral reef maybe, or mathematics in cooking, whatever it is that's built into the introduction. Okay, I felt from my own experience as a teacher back before most of you were alive, in using the concept that my students learned and were very far advanced from the other students in the school of the same class. So that's why I wanted to try this. But now that we've tried it and we're moving, we need to prove it. It needs to be proved before we can actually go to places like the Gates Foundation or even the United Nations as far as a program for international learning and so forth. Those are things I'd like to do, but until we get feedback and proof that it works, I can't, nobody will believe me. Who are you? Who are you to believe that this is something that can really work? So it's now up to all of us and what we're doing in the different countries, and to prove that yes, in fact, it is a good program, and that it's not only good for the learners, but it's good for the educators. And eventually, I hope that we'll find that it's good for parents and family, that the kids will begin to start taking this knowledge back home and also out into the community to share or use the community as part of the resources for the scripts that they develop, that it's a well-rounded way of learning. And that's what I'm hoping. And I have a supplementary idea. Albert, you have to unmute.
I must appreciate everyone for their very good contributions. Now I have an idea. Would it be very okay if we can do comparative studies and benchmarking? Because now with technology, the world is a global village. Take for example, when I'm in Uganda teaching and then using this GMRT, then somebody in USA is watching how I'm really doing it with my learners. Such as that we work as a team in one classroom. At the same time, we help the learners as a group. How do you see it?
Who answers? Because I'm not exactly positive that I understood what the question was. So, maybe somebody can help me better understand what we're going.
Was that about helping students, Albert? Is that what you said? We get help, so we help students. Right. Sorry, I'm gonna have to let you go to go. Sorry, okay, because I do have a meeting in like a few minutes from now. So excuse me, I'll watch the recording if you post it. Okay. So everybody, bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Calliope, for your input, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Calliope.
Divya.
Madam Tracy, did you get me right? Because you wanted clarification from somebody.
I didn't understand.
I'm saying that now with technology, the world is a global village.
No question about it. Yes.
It is possible for me to be teaching in Uganda using the GMRT, and then other facilitators all over the world are watching and contributing to my lesson.
That's exactly what we hope.
That would mean comparative studies and benchmarking. Is it very okay with us?
Well, I get everything up to the last piece about the marketing. What you're saying as far as being a global village of learning, you're right. And that's why the matrix is as the matrix is. One of the resource or the spokes to that learner is the global citizen. Because being able to network with other facilitators, share what you're doing with another class or another group, and to discuss about things is going to help them also further find answers to what it is that they're seeking, and to be able to help each other out in solving their own problems, as we saw happen with Livingstone and HIP Academy and a school in Pennsylvania. Okay, it really is. And that's why I said, Albert, when we go to the Ministry of Education, my only request of him is that he ensures that the schools that are involved in NGGE and the GMRT are appropriately supported with technology, or at least the teachers who are doing the facilitating have the equipment and the ability to do it. I don't need anything else. We don't need anything else from the Ministry of Education. Okay, those things we need. And if they feel that this is a good program and can move forward, and we can prove it through what people are telling you, and when you get to actually take it out and do it, I hope you'll see also the change in the learning that takes place, that we aren't requesting a lot from the Ministry of Education, given how much they pay UNESCO or all of these other global organizations to come in and do something, or to build a school, or to do that, or whatever. We can do this outside underneath a tree with our kids. We don't have to have a whole lot of stuff, except we need to have the ability to communicate in a global environment, so that our learners are not just learning from the script and from what we're doing to facilitate, but they're sharing that knowledge with other groups, other places, other facilitators, as well as learning from those groups. And that's a sharing, that's a give back. Okay. So that's the only thing that I want from the Ministry of Education. If we have educators, whether it's with the Teachers Association or it's with Jonan and Anita and Jotham and Emmanuel, who are those four that are a little bit ahead of you, they're ready to go, but they can't because they don't have the technology and the materials to do it. See? And I can't supplement that. I can't give that to them. That's where the Ministry of Education needs to come in and say, this is a good program. We can move this forward easily with the facilitators that we have, and hopefully that will grow. But this is what we expect from you to make it happen. Okay. And then being very transparent as far as reporting back to the ministry of what's going on and how it's going on and what the results are. Okay. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does. It seems Wagogo has a hand up there.
Yes, go.
Yes, please. Remember, thank you for the sharing. I appreciate, and I look forward to seeing me starting to initiate the program fully if my gadgets are well to my learners, and hopefully we shall share. Then what Mr. Herbert was talking about, it would be very possible. However, it would be very effective in case all of us have the same timeline. Unfortunately, we are on different timelines. You may be having your lesson there in USA. Here we are sleeping. Yeah. Maybe the best thing, in case members had a recording of different sessions, different lessons, then they share the recording. After members have watched, they can supplement because they have a different timeline. But in case you're in the same timeline still, like if you're in Uganda, you can say this time, or let's agree this time, let's have lessons. Or you have a lesson this time, I will be there watching. Another person says, maybe I'm in Kenya, where almost the timing is not different. Have this lesson, somebody else will be watching. Having alerted the members, then they would be ready to do that. Otherwise, the recording part can also be very helpful. That you share the recording, and members watch what transpired there. Thank you.
Yeah, the recordings are important, particularly of the readings or the discussions and stuff. And we would put those right up on the Matrix channel. But understand, really, when it comes to the time issues and problems, I'm the man out, which is a little bit why it's nice to have Georgia, because she's over there nearer to all of you in your time zones and sometimes can help coordinate. But she also knows, as most of you probably know, if you let me know that you're going to do something at such and such a time, I go to Georgia and say, what time is that for me? And then I have been involved in things that are happening at 3, 4, 5 in my morning. Okay. Because for me, it's important if you need me to participate in something or the kids want to meet with me or whatever, then I'm there for them and for you. And the other thing, too, is to remember that it isn't just about hitching up with me. Okay. Well, go, if you have a group that you're working and mentoring and they've got a script that they've developed and things are really great, then you get in touch with Georgia and say, Georgia, can your group and my group meet at a time and share a script to do something? Now you have, Greece that you're pulling in. And that's what we want to be able to do. We want to create literally a net weaving the facilitators and the countries together in a way that we now have each other to share, build, and create a different learning environment. Because we know, and if you've looked at the website and you have listened to the videos and so forth, you'll see that we really are about connecting together our educators and learners to create a true environment where people can gain knowledge and find answers to their questions. And they may have a question that Georgia's group or a problem that Georgia's group says, oh, well, something like that happened in our place. And this is what we did, or this is what we can do. And maybe you can try that. And then you've got the people there in Uganda who might be doing agriculture and stuff, who probably know much more about compatible planting than other countries, certainly than the US and maybe, in Greece and stuff, that that you plant two different plants together and one helps the other and how that all works and how you can, I've seen incredible agriculture husbandry places, and they're all on 1 acre and they feed a whole community. It's amazing. So how do you do that in other countries where those things are so needed? You do it by connecting, learning from each other, sharing our knowledge, our problems, our concerns, all of those things together to then make a net around the world of a better understanding of who we all are, better empathy, and try and get rid of the bigotry and the misunderstandings of what we think those people in Africa are like, or the Indians in India, they're all shysters and they're always out to get your money. It's not true. So many of the things that I thought as a child growing up and being taught in an American system was when I traveled, not true at all. But how do we get that information and that knowledge to our kids? They don't have that opportunity to take off and go to Africa, go to India, go to Nepal. Yes, they do. We can do that with them globally. And they can travel and go and see and visit and learn about the customs and the foods and the problems and the solutions together. That's really what we want to try and do. And yes, respecting each other and each other's culture. It's not to say you have to agree 100% with everything that goes on there, but to understand it and respect the differences we all have, and even more, understand the similarities we are. Okay. And that's really the key to what NGGE has always been about, what GMRT, the program, can do. But so many people are cut off because they don't have proper internet. They don't have the technology. This is, 2022. We've got people going to the moon. We've got goddamn satellites going off to someplace even further out, trying to Mars. Why are we not enabling our people here to be able to learn and connect appropriately? Okay. It's not that it's not impossible. It's just that nobody puts the energy or the time in or sees the value in those things. But it is valuable and it's necessary. And did I lose
Priyanka has joined. Tracy, please. Priyanka has joined.
Oh, okay.
Whom you want to meet?
All right. So,
hi, Priyanka. Please open your camera and introduce yourself.
Actually, weekends are too busy for me at home and at work as well. So,
well,
I'm just with you from my kitchen.
Oh, isn't that nice? You can come from anywhere you want to come from, and you can be just about any way you want. That's a wonderful ad I saw of people, business people who nowadays are Zooming. They're all dressed up and nice at the top, and then they've got shorts or something at the bottom. But anyhow,
seriously.
So did Divya leave? Divya is not here now. Okay. No, Divya, right? Divya, yeah. Divya has been with us for long. Divya, can you say a little bit about the GMRT, both from your own perspective? And you haven't had a chance to do any facilitating yet with it, or have you?
No, I have done it earlier, but it's been quite some time now. And that's what I was thinking, what new to write. I was thinking I'll take up a history or a geography chapter and I want to make a script out of that. And then probably facilitate that, because we have not been like the stories. So that is, if we can take a biology or a chemistry chapter and then try to make a script so we can actually put it forward, how we can change anything, any information into a script and make it more interesting and viable for the children to learn. So that's where my mind was working, it was thinking right now, So if we can do that, then, and if they can, like right now, I'm not able to take up any pilot projects because we just now parents are completely like, we don't want any screen time for the children. So right now we can't do that, but that's the way I think I can still be helpful to the team. So that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Very, very good. DrTPS is from India, and fairly new. He and Mamtaz and I met yesterday. We talked a little bit. Doctor, do you want to talk a little bit about?
Yeah, I'm here to learn what's happening around. And get used to this. Yeah, I think what Bert was talking. Probably we can be observers when the session is on. Then could learn. We don't require great technology, right? We need only a camera which is connected to your system and it can be projected, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you need a camera which can cover the whole class, and that's with a very low resolution camera also is very good enough. So maybe we can have observers. Only when you want to interact, you need a interactive terminal. I'm from Space Department. We had such schools in remote places. We had 2 programs. Even before the internet was not established, we were using televisions. And we had trials which runs in remote villages where there are 2 terminals. One can be interactive terminal and the other is receive only terminal. So I can observe what's happening. So that's only receiving. I don't respond at all. Maybe that is live response is not required. We can be observers. But then probably on text or something we can tell this is our observation. So that we are not disturbing the classes. but we are observing it and make comments.
Well, observing is actually one piece of GMRT, and one of the skills, obviously, that we work at is being able to listen as the script or whatever is being read, and then comment and talk about it in an interactive way.
Or maybe if you can make some requirement saying for this chapter we need a script to be generated, we can have some table sort of a thing which can be circulated. Some volunteers can say, oh, I'll take it up. And similarly, the classes happening at different places can put into a chart, and maybe Excel sheet or something can be on Google Sheet which can be shared, so people can look at, oh, this is happening at this place, let me join and then see. Right. Yes. Well, eventually, yeah, when we get that far, that's definitely what we'd like to be able to do, is to have people sort of put in a schedule that this is what they're going to be doing around this day or this time, and if it's possible for another group to join. Our script library right now is at about 55 or 60 scripts. Those that are licensed facilitators have access to all of them. And we've put them in something called Live Binder by alphabetical order, and then also by Lexiles. Lexile is the readability of the script, the approximate age or grade level that the students should be able to read and understand well. And it goes from preschool all the way up to college. Most of our scripts right now land in the lower to middle elementary school. We don't have a lot of scripts that are written at a higher level. However, all of the introductions and the material in the introductions are at a higher level. And that's the academic piece. So even if the scripts are easier for the older people to read, older people even like us, when we do an open session and read a script, there's a lot of stuff to get out of that script that leads into the academic learning that takes place for the students and the ability to do research and follow through. I want to stop for a minute. Unfortunately, Jonan is the only one here from your group. Jonan, can you unmute and say something for a minute? Jonan?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Good evening, everyone.
Your group is just about finished now, and you said Anita's has exams, and that
she's going to join. I've just been chatting with her now, and even Emmanuel they are going to join. Though Emmanuel is not feeling fine, is down, is sick. But on Wednesday we had met with those of Joram, and the other group of lifelong skills teachers. We met on Wednesday afternoon.
Oh, good.
And yeah, we met for quite a long time with those of Abat, and we saw how we reached an agreement of working together and seeing how we push NGGE. Though as discussed by Abat, we realized that NGGE went up to the registration bureau and found out that it was not registered. Secondly, we realized it couldn't take over like the way we sat, because we had a very big meeting with as a group, and we realized that NGGE cannot easily take off, unless there is a bigger, it is under an umbrella, such that the community really has to see that we are doing something on ground. That's when it will easily take off. And we had two other leading NGOs. We had that of Living Lifelong Skills, that one of Abat, and was willing to cover it up such that we can take off, such that we can be able to register it as an NGO then we can take off. Then secondly, we were ready to start. You are aware that we could have started the pilot earlier, but we are limited by the materials to use, and you gave us an opportunity to draft a small budget, and Joram could get in touch with you. Then we see how best we can do fundraising. How I wanted Joram to come up and explain more about that, because he's our country director. Though we had a very long, almost the whole day on that day, on Wednesday, about NGGE, the future of NGGE in Uganda, and etc. Yeah. Otherwise, my group is ready to go. We're a group of 4, and we've trained nearly for more than 2 months. And I think we are more.
So I will tell in short what is GE. Before 3 years, I started this group from just 3 members, and all the 3 persons were from India only. And the motto was to spread global education. You know, if you know about India, in many rural areas, even the students and teachers don't know how to type in computer or even how to switch on a laptop. These are the actual things on ground level. If we go to rural areas, in cities we are perfect, but in rural areas there are so many so many problems are there with teachers especially. So when the group was growing day by day, one or two members were added every day or every week even. But later when the pandemic arrived, so at that time, most of the at least 50% area of India was out of reach. Means all the schools were closed, you already know. So then we just started, started so many campaigns in schools, and we started to train teachers about technical tools which are used, which can be used to facilitate education. And really, in meanwhile, I met few educators from around the world. So right now, I proudly say that we have teachers from more than 57 countries in Uyghur. And really, we have grown so much. We have learned so much together. Mamtaz was also one of them. She was in early joiners. So she started B chapter in Bangladesh. And we don't have any chapter in any other country. Only we are having right now in India and in Bangladesh. And Mamtaz is leading for Bangladesh, and I manage for India. But yes, we do so many projects together. If you know Corina from Romania and Miss Nadia Ivanova, even Georgia is with us from so long. And yes, we don't talk every day or every week, but we collaborate, we message, we share information that is useful for teachers and really, really beneficial for students. And in one sentence, I just say we can grow together. If we are united, we can grow together. Every teacher has some virtues, some qualities, some powers that we can share with others. And obviously, we can learn some new things, and that can be implemented in our teaching. So not only bookish knowledge, we are providing global knowledge and a type of global education to each and every student of India. We are trying to do that. Still, we have to work much and much more. But yes, we are trying to do that. I am associated with some NGOs too, in India-based NGOs too. So we are doing the same thing with the help of those, because I myself can't reach to each and every corner of a country or from globe. So we need more and more hands. And yes, if we are together, we will do this. So thank you all, and congratulations once again. Over to who want to speak? Tracy, you can say whom you want to listen.
Piaka, we were hoping, what I'm hoping for is that we will be able to get organizations such as we and other organizations that I'm working on to partner with us.
Okay.
To be able to help us train, share their organization to move this forward and out into their contingent people. And in doing so, also have, those organizations on our website as being partners, and for us to be able to be on the other website so that we can build more visibility through the different organizations. So if that's something that might be of interest for World Educate, We Educate, I would love to meet with you to see how can we form a collaborative partnership together.
Yes, sir. I am sorry to interrupt. I am always eager to join anybody who is curious to learn or curious to share his or her knowledge. I'm every time curious. So just let me know what you need from me, what you expect from me, and what should I do. We are together from now onward.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you my email address. And then maybe if you shoot me an email, we'll connect that way, just with
Yes.
your information and whatever. And then Momtaz can also help in the development of creating a partnership. That is, I think, Momtaz's forte. She is definitely one who is helping to move the GMRT and the matrix philosophy forward by connecting us to other people, other like thinkers. That's how Dr. TPS and I have met through Momtaz. So that is definitely her forte. And thank you. We will meet together and see how we can form a partnership.
I have noted down your email ID. Will revert to you soon.
Oh, good.
And yes, indeed, Mamtaj is really a gem in education. That's why she is the country head of Bangladesh. Being.
Thank you, Priyanka, for joining us and express your views about we and to join our GMRT.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mamtaj, for inviting me, because every time I miss the meetings due to some other engagements. Every time I miss, but today being weekend, I was free.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll move forward. Now, I know, Jerm, you had wanted to say something now. Would you like to talk? Jerm? Hello, Jerm.
You can hear me?
Sort of. We can hear you now, yes.
Okay. I appreciate, first of all, for the work done. Mostly for our people in Uganda. They were about to 6 who finally the 4 have succeeded to satisfy them that they can do the work. So I thank them for the power they have put their time. At least they have tried, and I know they are going to do the work. Secondly, I appreciate Madam for putting more effort to see that the video hub can move all over the world. We thank you very much, and even the facilitator, Madam Mojojia, we also thank you very much, even for handing over those certificates. I'm sure that these people in Uganda are going to make wonderful. Now I know they are thinking even beyond that. From the GMT, they think much about beyond that, according to the situation in Uganda. You see, education in Uganda, the government is putting more effort to see how education can be improved, not on GMT, but even other programs. I thank even the Association of Teachers here in Uganda, that one of Mr. Herbert. Herbert is the Chief Director of that Association of Teachers. He's doing big work.
John?
The government has to